Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Cooking Without Looking TV show, South African edition. I'm Alan Preston.
And hi, everyone. I'm Annette Watkins, as many of you know. This edition of Cooking Without Looking has been in the works for over a couple years. We tried to fly into Cape Town, South Africa, and we're going to be able to capture all the learning and the experience and the motivation from the Cape Town Society for the Blind. But then the pandemic hit and the lockdown, and we weren't able to do so.
So, through the magic of Zoom and the video skills of the Cape Town Society for the Blind, we're able to show you the preparation of 3 of South Africa's traditional dishes. You can find the recipes for these 3 delicious dishes on our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com.
Yes, thank you, Alan, for that. That's very important. And also what's important is we want to give special thanks to some very special people. First of all, the Chief Executive Officer of the Cape Town Society for the Blind, Lizelle DeWet. I want to thank her for all her hard work. And also Judith Cortese and Sandra Dreyer, as well as Shaakirah Karjieker. Last but not least, Golden Dzapasi, and I hope I pronounce all your names correctly. If I did not, please forgive me.
Cooking Without Looking chefs of the day are Avril Davids and Akona Nagolo. Avril is a braille facilitator at Cape Town Society for the Blind. She's been visually impaired all of her life, but diagnosed with RP at the age of 26. Avril enjoys playing sports, especially lawn bowling, and I love lawn bowling. I played that when I was young, and is currently playing for a visually impaired club.
That sounds like fun. And my chef, Akona Nagolo, she's a young lady of only 27, but she has a real passion for helping people. In fact, she is also a student at the Cape Town Society for the Blind, and she really loves to cook and get together with friends and loved ones. And she's been partially sighted for about the last 6 years, and we're going to find out more about that later.
Sounds interesting. As always, we want to remind you that everyone on the Cooking Without Looking TV show is either blind or severely visually impaired, as are both Annette and myself.
Yes, I have a form of macular degeneration, which is called Stargardt's, which I'm not totally blind, but I have trouble with central vision. And on to what is coming up next, which is so exciting, is our video of our chefs. And after we run that video, we're going to open up questions and answers and comments to our virtual audience after our chefs had prepared their dishes.
So without any further ado, let's travel and visit Cape Town Society for the Blind on a very special Cooking Without Looking TV show, South African edition.
Cape Town Society for the Blind edition. Society for the Blind edition.
There we go. You want to start from the very beginning?
No, don't worry, Alan.
And I'm a student from Cape Town Society for the Blind. Today I'll be introducing a meal that my team, Cooking Without Looking, has put together for you guys to enjoy. The meal is Chakalaka, Umfino and Komberse. The reason why we show this meal is because it shows how versatile or how different our traditions and cultures are, but at the same time, how can we match them together?
Main meal, Oumense Under the Komberse. In English, it translates to Granny Under the Blanket.
I'm employed here at CTSB. I'm a braille and retain facilitator. I'm also partially sighted. Yeah, so what I will be cooking today is called Oumense Under die Komberse. Those people who don't understand Afrikaans, what the dish is all about is a meatball which is covered in cabbage. The cabbage is covering the meatball. Why they call it Oma? Oma is a granny. So, you know, grannies are always cold and they need to be tucked away. So we tuck the meatball around the cabbage. So we cover her with a blanket. So that is a dish which I will be making today. So the ingredients which you will be needing is onions, your spices, fish oil, lamb pieces, just for the flavor. It's just for the flavor. You can also replace it. You have options. You can replace it either with soup bones. You can use about 2 or 3 soup bones. And I will prefer actually soup bones, but it cooks actually longer. So that's why I didn't want to use it. But soup bones is very nice for this dish. And then we also have eggs, which we're going to use for the meatballs. The spices are there. Here are your mince. It's just a half a kilo mince, and then cabbage. And then also the green pepper. And you also need garlic. I've already prepared some of my ingredients. This is the cabbage, which I just leave. It's all leaves. I didn't cut it up because this is where the meatball will be wrapped in. So you only cook it halfway through so that it can be flexible. So when you do wrap it around the meatball, it won't break. I've already chopped majority of my onions. So now I just need to chop another half, and then I will be adding it to the pot. And as I'm chopping, I just move my fingers backwards, and I let the side of the knife feel against my fingers. Then I know how far I need to go. So then I just feel if everything has been chopped, and I know I can add it to my pot. What I do, I just go along the side of the stove, feel where my pot is with my knife, and put my board onto the pot, feeling it's inside the pot. Now I know I won't be messing. I just spread it evenly in the pot. Now you have to braise it until it's nice and brown. Then you move on to your green pepper. You slice your green pepper, and then afterwards you chop it evenly. Add this with your onions. So you are done. Start cleaning your garlic. About 3 nice big cloves. I'll wash it off. Just rinse it a bit. This you can either grate or you can chop it, which I prefer doing to chop. Chop it nice and fine. I just gather together, and then I will also add this to my onions and green pepper. onions was nice and brown. And then I added my meat and I added some water so that the meat can simmer through and become tender. Once your meat is nice and tender, halfway tender, then you add your chopped cabbage and your potatoes to the pot. And once that is nice and halfway through, then you can add your the meatballs and the cabbage, which I am busy preparing now. I'll be grating one onion and when this onion is done, I'll be grating also a green pepper and garlic. But the garlic I will be grating on the finer side of the grater because it has to be more fine. I want to taste chunks of garlic in your meatballs. Once you've completed grating your onions, green pepper, and garlic, you can add your steak mince to it. Now I'll be adding breadcrumbs, which is a cup of breadcrumbs. And then you also add 2 eggs just to bind it together. We have our jars here with all our spices in, and we have labeled them in large print, and it's also labeled in Braille. So the Braille is written here on top, which is easier for us to identify. And now I'll be adding some salt. You just make sure it is salt. Yes, it is. I'll be adding a teaspoon of salt, pepper. You can either use black pepper, you have the option black pepper or white pepper, but I'll be using white pepper. Don't know how strong your pepper is. Don't know, you just make sure that you don't put too much in. You can add either a half a spoon, teaspoon, or 3/4 or a spoonful. All depends on how strong you like your meatballs. I've got my dry parsley. I'll be adding 2 teaspoons. And then you have an option to add any other ingredients which you do want to. I'll be adding just a bit of meat masala, just for the taste.
Hi Renee. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't really hear the video. So maybe if it's not working because of signal, maybe you could just maybe dictate what's happening on the video, or just give us a description of what she's doing at the moment?
Pills out the pills. So now I'm
Okay.
gonna chop my
Yeah, I'm not
butternuts.
sure what problem is. She's
I'm gonna chop
cutting.
meats.
Okay, it's working now. I think because you were on mute, so the whole video was on mute. So we can hear the video.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
In my Umfino, the butternuts must be mashed. Okay, I've done my chopping. So now I'm gonna mix it together in one pot. I'm using a large pot. I like a space when I cook. I like a space more, especially when I have something to do with maize now. So I don't like to cook my meal in a tight pot. The butternuts, it's the first one, well, it must be mashed. The second one that I should put is a little bit of maize rice. So it's in my cupboard, this side in the servants or fact sheet. So how do I know where to get my rice? I know this side is the straw. It's something like rice, meal, cooking oils. I know this is where I get stuff like this. So I'll just put a half of rice. I don't know why they cook the rice first, but I grew up when they cook spinach, when they cook Umfino, they cook it like this. So I'm following the ingredients. But I think even if you don't have the rice, it's so cold. But I'm following the ingredients that the adults they do. From the Eastern Cape where I come from, we do like this. So this is how I learned from my grandma's. Due to insufficient time, I can just add cabbage now as well. So I have warm water. Then I'll put also a lot of water so that my veg can just boil. Bring my veg boil. Yeah, so now I'm coming to the stove. And now I'm filling up. I'm checking on my pot. I think it's just 15 minutes now. So now I'm checking my pot. How's it going? So in order for me to know, I use a wooden spoon. So I'm mashing the butternut so I can see now it's soft, it's getting mashed. So that means it's soft. So it's made cooked because it's a little bit mashy. So yeah, then it's soft. Then now I know I can add my cabbage. I can add my spinach. There's already here. There's a cabbage, butternut, and the rice. So now I can add my spinach and the onion and my spices, my cooking oil, so that it can just boil all together. Then finally, I can add my maize meal. But when you cook Umfino, the spinach must be richer than all the eggs. Must be green. So the aromat must be suitable. I don't know how to say it, but what must feel it while you're eating. So put it 2 full big teaspoons. Now add rama. So rama is oh my God, I've left my magnifier camera, so I won't be able to see this rama screen. But then everyone, my partner, she can help me to read. Everyone?
Yes.
Oh, just enough. Okay. Can you please help me to read this rama screen?
You want me to read the fine print?
Please.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I see it underneath.
Oh wow.
It's It's a 250 grams.
250 grams.
Yes.
Oh, now I know it's 250 grams and it's 80. I'm just gonna take it off. So now I can feel that my vegetables, my pot on point, everything is right. Even when I'm stirring it, I can feel my wooden spoon is moving nicely smooth. So now I can add my maize meal. Let's go get my maize meal. Say one can add the maize meal straight to the pot, but the clumps, if it didn't stay nicely well. So it depends on how one can stay nicely well. But for me, I don't want to take any risk to serve my people a umfino with the clumps. So I have a boil with cold water. Then I'm gonna add my meal here in this cold water. Not too much of meal. Just to thicken up. The main thing is just to thicken up the vegetables, you know. That's why I don't go like a steak. It's just to thicken up the vegetable. So now I'm mixing my cold water with my maize meal so that I can just dip straight to my vegetable, and then I can just stir it all together, and then my umfino is ready. My bowl is too small, then it's not really all right, but I'll just add water, it's okay. So watch me as I'm stirring it so that it doesn't get lumps. Very strong. As I've just add maize meal in my vegetables, then that maize meal, the stove is high, so the maize meal is gonna burn. It's gonna burn. Then I must lower my stove. So the stove was at 6. Now I'm gonna lower it to 3.
Spicy Chakalaka.
As I'm cooking umfino, in my meal, I'm gonna also add chakalaka, as it is part of the traditional meal. Chakalaka is mostly loved. It's mostly loved. You can go to colored areas, they love chakalaka. You can go to African areas, they love chakalaka. Mostly Africans, when they do braai, they will go for chakalaka, steak pap, and braai meat. So they love it like that. So it's African style, it's Cape Town style. People, they love it. So now, as it is nice, colorful, how am I gonna do it? You can do it in different ways, but this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a mix of peppers, red, to which I've chopped here. I have red, yellow, and I'm gonna chop my green one. So I have 3 colors. So I'm gonna do the mixture of 3 colors, and then I'm gonna have my carrot, which is orange. So you see now I'm having the 4th color, and then obviously I'm gonna have my onion for that nice flavor, and then I'm gonna add beans and chutney sauce and some spices, barbecue spice for a nice flavor. And obviously it's chakalaka, it must be hot. So I will add my carrots, my hot stuff. So I will add it on my chakalaka. I want all my chili spices. So I'm trying to read out here which are the chilies, and then I'm just gonna put it up front so that I can set them nicely, the one I want to use. Okay, I've already put on my stuff. So let's put my cooking oil. My cooking oil. A little bit. I can try to come closer to see how I put it, because honestly I can't tell the measurement. I can just come closer to see how I put it. My onion, I think it's a half an onion, because I've chopped 2 onions and I put in one bowl. Then I'll take off to the Umfino and I take off to here. Here for the chicken. This chili or pepper, this chili powder, and this chili flakes and barbecue. So I'm gonna take 1 tablespoon on each one. Each one, okay, not one teaspoon, you know, it must be half. It's too much parts then. Must be half, yeah. Parts made, so this is chili flakes. Lucky enough with chili flakes, even if you are not colorblind, you can feel it, it's a rough. So yeah, with here, I'm gonna put a full spoon. Now it's not the cheese fries. Also gonna put not too full, yeah. So all my spices are here in. So now I'll put my onion, my spices, down here I'll put my peppers, my mixed peppers. Yeah. I like my peppers to be well cooked. Just want them to be a little bit fried. Well cooked because I want them when they I like them when they are crunchy. So I'm putting my carrot in my pot. My water too. Stir it. So I have my green, my yellow, my red, my orange. All my nice colors are here. To add more flavor, I'm gonna put on chutney, and then I'm gonna put on.
The meeting hosted by Sylvia Bears with 16 participants. Your audio is unmuted. Your window is off. The meeting is being recorded.
I like to put my chutney before I put on beans, so that not too much, right? Since I still have a little bit of vision, I don't measure it, I just dish it, but maybe I can't really tell. I don't want to lie. I can't tell the measurement, but you just pour it and then you can just feel it. You can just taste it and then you know whether you should add more or what. Now I'm gonna add the baked bean in my pot. All my vegetable, all my taste is already on point. Everything is good. So just to add the baked bean, more sauce. So there's nothing here. And then the chakalaka is for the smell. Oh, people can just tell if they can just shout out loud. It smells so nice, so delicious. And I'm just gonna leave it maybe for 2 minutes just for the baked beans to absorb together with my vegetable, so that the flavor can all be together in one. So.
Chakalaka.
Avril getting ready to serve the meal to students.
The reason why we have a black tablecloth and white plates, so that the contrast can be nice and clear for portions like the people.
Students entering the kitchen to enjoy the meal.
So it's a meatball, right? Chakalaka, it's onion, right? And then I put on a bit of oil, and then a little bit of caramel for the nice taste. Oh. And then I add my.
What you say?
What is your answer?
Akona. I'm so hungry. Thanks, my name.
How was the food tomorrow?
Very nice.
And you, Ellen?
This food was world class.
Fantastic words.
It's fantabulous, darling. Really, I look at royalty.
Yes, my compliments to the chefs.
Exactly. Oh, that was great. But now for the cleanup, that is not the part which everybody loves.
It is there. It's like from my primary school, it was mostly English.
Thank you, Cooking Without Looking, for the show, for having us on the show. And we really enjoyed it. We appreciate it. And thank you very much. Bye.
Wow, that was tremendous. There was a lot of great tips in there. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you so much for sure. And because of the time difference, it's pretty late there in Cape Town right now, but here we're getting ready for dinner. And boy, I don't know about you, Alan, but I am hungry after watching that.
Me too, Annette. Some of that stuff sounds really good. Now, we would like to introduce you to the people who made this possible. Chief Executive Officer Lizelle DeWitt and Judith Coitze, I hope I pronounced that right, and Sandra Dreyer and Golden Dzapasi and Shaakirah Karjieker. Who would like to comment first?
Yeah, we'd like those out in the virtual audience to comment, as well as we're going to open it up to any questions you might have for our chefs, Akhona and Avril, today, because they did such a fine job. They're great teachers. So bring on the questions and comments. They would love to hear it.
I was seeing some great tips on handling the kitchen,
yes, me too.
about putting stuff into pots and getting it centered. But I was most impressed with Avril and her knife handling skills.
Yes.
She
sure.
has it right on with the way you feel the back of the knife. The only thing I'd like to say to our audience is you might not want to start out trying it quite that fast. She was good.
Yes, she was very confident with the knife. And I'm sure she learned that all at the Society for the Blind in Cape Town. I'd like to, if she can answer where she learned her wonderful knife skills, that would be awesome.
Are you there, Avril? I don't know if she's there or not.
She's on mute.
Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. We want to know, Avril, we would like to say to you, first of all, you're an excellent teacher, amazing teacher, very relaxed, very precise. We want to know about your confidence in your knifing skills, where you learn them, and how do you relay that to the students so that they can gain some confidence?
Well, firstly, when I discovered that I needed some assistance with just discovering that I do have an eyesight problem, I went to Cape Town Society of the Blind, and they taught me some safety precautions in the kitchen. So it's more about life skills. And so when I became a facilitator, that's where I related to the students. And I'm now experienced in it. So that's why I had to also just bring out all the safety precautions to while I was cooking, so that people who watches it, they can also use it in the kitchen. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. So you did it through trial and error and experience.
Excuse me?
You did it through trial and error. I'm sure you had some missteps, and through experience, you got better and better.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Alan, do you have a question, honey?
Well, I didn't really have a question other than just to compliment Avril on her wonderful life handling skills and some of the great tips that she gave our audience about how to center cutting boards over the pot so you don't spill stuff. And I can't remember all of the great things, but Yeah, I was very impressed. You guys did very well.
I had a
Thank
couple
you, Ellen.
questions, if you don't mind. I always
I
have
don't
questions.
mind.
If you don't mind, I have a couple questions to Avril and Akona. We'll go back and forth. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. All right. The question I had was, first of all, with the steamed, I was a little confused about the potatoes, and I wanted to know about the cabbage. Was it steamed before you wrapped the granny in the blanket? And why did you
Yes.
use potatoes? I don't think I heard why you used the potatoes.
Well, firstly, the cabbage, I steamed the cabbage beforehand. I steamed it halfway so that it can be, that it can be flexible. The leaves actually are steamed halfway.
Oh, okay.
And and then you can add potatoes to the dish, or you don't have to add potatoes to the dish. It all depends if you want potatoes in it. And it's only extra. And it's also, it makes it more. And it because you don't know if you're going to have a big family that's coming to you or not. So yeah, it's just also extra.
Okay, yeah, because I noticed you said with the cabbage, you have extra cabbage. So you took the extra cabbage and you put in the pan with the potatoes. It's kind of like a filler. It's like extra.
Yes,
which
it's
potatoes,
extra, and it
yeah.
it makes it more also. So if you would like a second helping, then there will be left. You can also keep it for the following day, which will taste it will be more delicious.
Yes, you're right.
I bet
You're
it
right.
is.
Because the flavors kind of marry. I'm so excited to even try this, that I'm going to make the meatballs. It could even make a meatloaf and maybe wrap some cabbage. I don't know if that's possible, but hey, what we could experiment. It sounds so unique. It's
Yes,
so
you can
unique.
even bake it in the oven. You can take the meatball and the cabbage, which is wrapped around already, and you can add a little oil to your pan which you're going to be putting in the oven, and then you put your meatballs with the cabbage into the oven, and you can bake it for about half an hour, and it will be ready.
Okay, awesome, awesome tip. Can you use red cabbage, or you prefer the white or the green?
You can use any cabbage.
Any kind? Okay, terrific. Well, thank you, Avril. And I have a question for Akona. Akona, are you there? Akona, can you hear me?
Akona's on mute.
It's muted. Oh, there she is.
I think Renee put Akona on mute. Or
We lost Akona.
I'm trying to get her to unmute.
Ah, okay. I wonder if she can see us.
I think she could see us and hear us, but we can't hear her.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her to unmute.
Akona is low vision, so she probably struggled to find the button.
Hello. Can you see me now?
Akona, is that you?
Hello. Yeah, can you see me now? Hello.
Akona?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Akona. You can hear me?
Yeah, can you see me also?
I see you as well, yes. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect. I have two questions, and then I'll turn it over to Alan. My first question, one's a personal nature, and one is more about your dish, which is amazing. Your enthusiasm and the little tips about putting the cloth underneath the cutting board. I love that. I love that you can eat this dish as a side dish or a main dish. But my question about your produce, I'm very, very curious. Both of you guys use cabbage in your dish. What produce do you have there in Cape Town that's local that you use a lot of? Is a cabbage one of them or others?
Sir, can you please repeat your question?
Cabbage.
Can you please repeat your question, please?
Oh, I just wanted to know what, you want me to repeat the question? I wanted to know what produce there in Cape Town, South Africa is local and very common that you might use. You both used cabbage. I'm maybe thinking that's local. What produce is local there to Cape Town?
Yeah, cabbage it is local. Everything I've used in my pot, I local. You like find those all the time in the store.
Okay. Do you have like open markets where you buy a lot of local produce?
Yes, we do have open markets. You can get cabbages, spinaches, anywhere, like anywhere you do get them.
Okay.
And the other signal, they're always good.
Yes, I noticed you use spinach, and I noticed too when you cut it, it was so crunchy. You know, like here, I don't know, it's not as crunchy when you cut it. I could hear the crunch sound of the knife going through the spinach. Thank you for that. The other question, and then I'll turn it over to Alan. I'm just curious about your eyesight. It said that you're been partially sighted for the last 6 years. And I wonder, what is your eye condition and why are you partially sighted for the last 6 years? Can you share a little bit about that? Hello, Akhona.
Oh, no.
Oh, I want to know the answer to that question. And I'm sure our audience wants to know what your eye condition is and why you've been partially sighted for the last 6 years.
I think Akona froze, but if you want to know a story, I could share it for her because I am the occupational therapist at Cape Town Society for the Blind.
Excellent.
So I work with a lot of the students, and I know Akona, she's actually a registered nursing auxiliary. So she studied for that. And then one day she just had a very bad headache and she had migraines, and then she went to the hospital. And then she explained before we started that she didn't have any vision at all. So she was diagnosed with, she had high cranial pressure. So there was fluid buildup in her brain, spinal fluid buildup. So she mentioned that it was either they put in a shunt or they do lumbar punctures every day. So she has a shunt, and some of her eyesight came back. But she's doing really well. Akona is so bright and she has a lot of potential. And at the moment, she's doing a course at Cape Town Society for the Blind that will bring up her qualifications, and hopefully she can go back to the health sector. But she's really amazing, and I wish she could have shared a story herself. But I think me and her, we're working closely together just to find her a new path because she's very passionate about helping people.
Yes, she's very passionate about helping people and cooking. I could see that.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for that
No
inspirational
problem.
information. Thank you. Alan, do you want to add anything?
Well, I have a couple of questions that don't have a whole lot to do with food and cooking. You kind of covered that. But I'm curious about the life of blind people in South Africa. I'm wondering, do you people use guide dogs there? I have a guide dog, and I would love to come down there and visit you guys. I'm just wondering, do people there have guide dogs? Do you use them at all?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So you understand the concept that, do you have the same, do guide dogs have the right to be in places as they do here in the United States?
Yes, they do.
Okay, very good. I was also curious about your climate there. When Annette was asking about what food is locally available, I was wondering what kind of a climate, what foods you generally grow there. Does it snow in the winter there? It's kind of a joke. It doesn't snow here.
It doesn't snow, but actually, funny enough, it was. I think it's such a such a cold winter that it was snowing on the mountains, and everybody's so excited that it's snowing that they drive to the mountains and they go and play around in the snow for a few hours before it melts. But it doesn't snow here, so it's quite
if it
rare.
does, if it doesn't snow, you grow fruit trees like oranges and lemons and limes, grapefruits.
I don't know. Golden, do you want to answer that? I know Golden is quite interested in healthy living and healthy lifestyle. And I'm sure you can tell us more about the South African produce.
Please, I'm kind of curious what you grow there and what your climate is like. Do I need to bring my winter coat or my bathing suit?
Everything that you have there is also here in South Africa. And remember, some of the fruit trees that you have there came from Africa, by the way.
Okay.
I'm sorry to distract me. I'm so sorry. My battery just went flat due to being blind. Didn't take note that my battery was flat. So I'm sorry you were asking a question, but it just went.
Oh, wow. We've lost video.
Pardon?
Have we lost video? I've lost my video here.
No, there was a question head over to me. So while I was trying to answer it, my battery just shut down. So I just came quickly to charge it. So I didn't take note that it was like flat. My apology for that.
Okay. So do we have some questions from our virtual audience or comments from our virtual audience?
Alan, we had one here. She said from Chani S to everyone, she said, wow, I'm so proud of South Africa. I'm from South Africa and I can definitely make use of these tips. Thank you so much for this amazing show. Appreciated. And
that's excellent.
And we'd like to have a little bit of information on the Cape Town Society for the Blind from Golden. Golden's got some information for us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the great work that you did. We are so excited that you have put us on the map. We are happy about that. Maybe I just want to say a bit of background about Cape Town Society for the Blind. Our organization is now 92 years. So it was started on the tenets of helping people who are visually impaired here in Western Cape, providing rehabilitation, social support, innovative, and also employment opportunities for people with visual impairment. So we are so happy that we have managed to help a lot of blind and partially sighted people to lead an independent life. We have some programs that we do offer at Cape Town Society for the Blind, which are basically, we have got keyboard orientation, which is ICDL, computer literacy, MySita, which is end user computing, Smart DG, life skills, skills of daily living, orientation and mobility, office administration, public speaking, braille literacy, fabric weaving, cane weaving and repairs. We also have maybe a rehabilitation section where we have low vision, social work activities, occupational therapy programs, orientation and mobility. We are happy that we really managed to set up a low vision clinic, which is being manned by Shaakirah and Suna. They are doing a great job there. But alongside that, we have a vision, we have a goal. We still would want to set up a sensory room for children. This is the plan that we now have after having established the low vision clinic. We want to have a sensory room for children. This is going to help the children in terms of preventing childhood blindness and low vision as well. The following activities would take place if we manage to get resources or funding to establish the sensory room at CTSP. It is going to be a screening, with screening children, assessment, familial support, training and use of assistive devices within that setup. So this is our main goal that we would want to focus on. Now, because of the fact that we are a non-profit organization, most of our funds comes from donors. So we would really appreciate if people from all over the world, from all walks of life, maybe if Cooking Without Looking as well, can also share with their friends about our need to establish this facility at Cape Town Society for the Blind. We would really appreciate and would be happy about it. So in a nutshell, we would want to thank you so much. But since you guys are going to visit us, I think you're going to be excited to be in Cape Town. We are eagerly waiting to see you here. We know now coronavirus is there to stay, so we cannot stop traveling because of COVID-19. We still have to travel. Thank you so much. But I wanted to share a little bit about the poem that I did. I did a poem. I wrote a poem for Cooking Without Looking, including the YouTube. So I was hoping that probably we were going also to hear it, but maybe for the sake of the time now, it was very impossible for us to hear about it. What I did is that after having realized and seen what Cooking Without Looking is doing to the people who are visually impaired, I decided to write a poem about cooking without looking, so that people all over the world will quickly and easily identify and see actually the good thing that Cooking Without Looking TV show is doing. This is why I had to write this poem. I would want you to maybe send it on YouTube, so that at least the YouTube can also be aware of what the great job that they are doing in partnership with TV, with Cooking Without Looking TV show. This is quite good. This is quite commendable. I'm happy about what you did and what you are doing. Thank you.
Well, you are so very welcome. And you guys are doing a tremendous job down there. I have a quick question. Are you familiar with the civic organization called the Lions Club International? Have you ever heard of the Lions Clubs?
Yeah, I've heard, but yes, I
You
have
might
heard.
want to contact them, because they have been known in the past to be very helpful to all blind organizations around the world. And I know that I'm a member of our Lions Club here in South Florida, United States. And we've helped people, well, especially here in South Florida, but we help people also all over the United States. We raise money for projects just like what you guys are doing. Maybe we would contact them.
We would really appreciate if you can maybe send contacts to Lizelle or to Sandra or to Judith, so that at least maybe we will be able to get some assistance, so that at least this project will be fruitful in the near future.
We'll see if we can find a Lions Club that is in South Africa somewhere. I'm sure they are. I just don't know where you'd find the organizational leaders, that's all. We'll see what we can do. Right, Renee? I hope you're listening.
I am listening. I'm gonna like hunt it down and I'll find something for you, Gold, and I'll send it off. And Alan, I'll tell you about it too. I'll tell you guys. So
I'll help you out if I'll
Thank
help
you
you
so
out.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You guys did such a wonderful job. We're appreciative of it.
Lions Club is situated here in South Africa. I know quite a few people of Lions Club.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's your contacts right there. They do help out by raising money for projects exactly like what you're thinking about doing. I'm so proud of you guys for doing that kind of stuff too.
Yes, they do, because I belong to a social club called Lighthouse Association for the Blind. So, and Lions Club, they do assist the at the club. So yeah, they do quite a lot of charity work and help us out.
Excellent. Well, we would like to thank everyone who made this Cooking Without Looking TV show South Africa edition possible, namely all of those people in the Cape Town Society for the Blind.
Yes, and I would like to copy that and thank everybody. You know, even though they're so far away in Cape Town, South Africa, through this Zoom broadcast, we are all actually 6 degrees apart. We're all actually very close. And I'd just like to thank everybody specifically from Cape Town and everybody out there that watches our show, to just know that we appreciate you because you help the way the whole tagline, and it's a good one, is changing the way we see blindness. And you've helped us to do that. So thank you.
You will be able
Thank you very much.
All of you in the audience will be able to view this show and many others on our Cooking Without Looking YouTube channel. If you want to try today's recipes, they're posted on our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com. And don't forget to enjoy our Cooking Without Looking TV show podcast anywhere you get your favorite podcasts.
Yes, thank you, Alan, for that. The podcasts are amazing. You get to go in the world of the blind and visually impaired and find out what is going on in their mind and how they're feeling, how they're thinking about their blindness and all the great accomplishments they've done. I just wanted to add that. But I just wanted to thank everybody from Cooking Without Looking. We wanted to thank everyone who has joined us today. We want you to have a safe, great weekend and be safe in the kitchen as well. And we'll see you next time. So bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.